Welcome to ACMA. This is a time of year when students and families begin to think about where they might want to go to school, and Arts and Communication Magnet Academy is one of several option schools in Beaverton available for students who live within BSD boundaries. ACMA is, as the name implies, a school focused on the arts. We're also a school where academics matter, and students at ACMA are held to the same graduation requirements as any student in the district. That said, there's something different about ACMA. Walk down our hallways and you'll see creative students and adults, visual artists and performing artists. You'll see students making art and building community together. There's a certain magic about ACMA. And of course there are facts too. About 700 students, grades 6 through 12, call ACMA home, drawing from all corners of the Beaverton School District. Students are on an A-B schedule, much like our comprehensive high schools, with 4 classes each day, including a supervised study, which, to our over 30 crowd, is a little like a study hall, a place students can get a head start on any homework. Students meet the same academic standards at ACMA that they do at every BSD school, though we take a decidedly artistic approach to all that we do. And all of our electives, other than languages, AVID, or the 6th grade wheel, are in communications, whether visual or performing arts. A dozen buses bring our students to campus, with school beginning at 8:15 and the school day ending at 3 o'clock. This 3 o'clock release gives students the time that they need to take a school bus to their neighborhood high school, and if they're high schoolers interested in participating in a sport, they can do that, and we have many students who do. ACMA has a robust special education program with 3 full-time special education teachers and also has services for students learning English. In addition, there are many clubs at ACMA, and students are encouraged to get involved in campus life. We're very fortunate at ACMA to have a fantastic campus, including a beautiful theater, a recording studio, and amazing spaces for music, dance, art, and more. But the heart of ACMA isn't a building. It's the students. And here are a few current students answering questions submitted by interested families.
So I came to ACMA in 6th grade when I was I think I was 11 years old, so pretty young. And I have to say I was quite scared because I knew that I was going to be going to school with a bunch of high schoolers, and that kind of scared me a lot. But once I got here, I realized how much everyone is like just a big family, and even though some people are upwards of like 9 years older than me almost, like it was totally fine because they were all so nice and they were so friendly because I got to do after school activities with them, and I quickly realized like how close everyone is at ACMA.
So I came to ACMA in 2019 school year. I was just out of 5th grade. I was planning on going to Highland Park because I went to Sexton Mountain, but I had toured both ACMA and ISB, and I realized I would have gone to ISB if I just really wanted to do like a career pathway. I wanted to make sure I want to start learning soon, but ACMA is where I went to because I thought it would kind of be fun, and I am 12th grade now, so yeah, it's been like 7 years. It was pretty fun. It was a good decision.
It was very like welcoming because I came in like 6th grade, and yeah, it was just like a lot of options for me to choose from. There was like I got introduced to like a lot of art programs and stuff like that, and all the teachers were like super nice and like, welcome to middle school and high school.
Oh yeah, I came in 9th grade, and it was still really welcoming, and it was really fun and nice, and there was a lot of people who were new with me, and I made a lot of friends with them too, so.
I was really nervous because it was my first time in art school, and I didn't know what an art school was like. And I was a freshman, and I knew that people were already here like when they were 11 and 12, so I was like, I don't know what the atmosphere will be like with new people. I don't know how many new students was going to be there, but when I finally got there, it was such a welcoming community because there were so many teachers who've had so many students. They know what it's like. And you just instantly feel like you're in a different place, and you don't have to worry about what happens outside of school because you're in the school and you can just focus on what you love and the arts you love and the studies and the friends you make.
Ooh.
It's very welcoming.
Yeah.
Very,
No, okay.
very welcoming.
Yes.
And it's very, there's a lot of good exposure to arts too.
Oh, yeah.
Like, when I came in 6th grade, there was a lot of stuff that, like a bunch of arts too, and just culture that I hadn't experienced before or even really known about. And then, yeah, it's just really welcoming and a lot of opportunity too.
There's also so many different types of people here. Like, we're all kind of weird, and so we're all kind of weird together, so everyone just kind of fits into this fun, like, weird, like, friendship group. Yeah.
And all the teachers are like super like nice and are always trying to like make that connection between the
Yeah.
student and teacher.
It's hard. It was hard to feel like lost or like you didn't know what you were doing because there were always people to help.
My biggest opportunity was doing theater because that's what I came here for, and also choir. The first show I did was Romeo and Juliet, and it was an all ages show, so 6th through 12th grade, and I met so many people there that are still my friend to this day after being here for 5 years, 6 years? I don't know. But some of those people have like moved on, don't go here, graduated, but I still have such strong connections with the people I was in that show with.
Oh my gosh, where do I start? Okay, so I came to ACMA 8th grade. When I got into high school, I joined newspaper club as a designer and an editor. So I made a whole bunch of friends through newspaper club, started a D&D club very briefly, made a whole bunch of friends through that. And kind of just like being in the same art classes as other people, you immediately have a shared interest with kind of everyone when you come to ACMA. So depending on what art like medium you're focused on, it can be a little different, but there's also friendships that cross over those art mediums. And sometimes you can make really beautiful things from that, like combining writing and art or film and photography. It's just like a huge amount of diversity and a huge amount of different people that you can make friends with.
Some ask, you have 6th through 12th grade students under the same roof? Yes, and it's awesome. As a 6th through 12th grade school, we often get asked if middle school students and high schoolers have classes together. For 6th grade, not much. And for core classes, students are mostly divided by grade level. For some of the others, particularly arts electives, we do see mixed grade classes, and we see that as a strength. Students can attend ACMA for 7 years, just like Hogwarts, and we see our program as a 7-year continuum. We get to know students, and students get to know staff and peers so well in those 7 years. Most of our teachers teach both middle and high school students, and that familiarity can be fantastic. But you're watching this because you're curious about ACMA, and it's our hope to take you behind the scenes to learn a little bit more about our school. You may have seen a performance, for instance, and we're proud of the accomplishments of our students. But that dance piece you might have seen performed with students from our orchestra only happened after hours and hours and hours of practice. Art, in all of its forms, takes work. And ACMA students are committed to working hard, collaborating, and supporting each other through the process. We know that murals take time and planning and teamwork. And when we're all willing to do that work, we can end up with something special. The investments students make in their futures, academically and artistically, pay off when our students walk across the stage at graduation. For many, that academic journey begins in 6th grade. And at ACMA, all 6th graders take a 6th grade wheel class that mixes different artistic electives and academic supports in a series of classes over the course of the year. First quarter, for instance, students might take instrumental music. Next, they might have a section of mindfulness, then a time in film, and some time in choir. Those specific parts of the 6th grade wheel change from year to year, but it's our hope that they finish the year and have a better overall picture of the options here at ACMA and know they're supported and cared for. Part of that picture is our academic classes. Those core academic classes include a variety of English classes, including English electives, history options, including advanced placement classes, lots of hands-on science, and math up through AP Calculus. High school students can take Spanish and French from beginning to advanced placement. And anyone curious can go on our ACMA website and look for the Academic Program Guide. It's here that you can see course descriptions, get a sense of the classes, academic and elective, that we offer at ACMA. What are those classes like? Well, we'll turn back to those students for some answers to 3 common questions.
Core classes are pretty much like any other school, but we get to have a little bit more fun with it, I like to say. This year in my English class, I get to do watercolor in my notes, and I find that super, super fun to just add little art aspects. Not all classes are obviously like that. It like depends on the teacher, but a lot of our teachers are really into the arts, which is really helpful and helps us relate to them a lot.
We're good. Yeah, I would say, you know what? Yeah, since we go to like an art school, obviously you don't have to be good at art, but they obviously like tend to have some sort of like art kind of thing involved with it. So if you're not too into doing core classes, you have a little component that you can put your art into. So I always like doing that.
The core classes, I wasn't expecting to enjoy the core classes, but I had some really good teachers that made me enjoy math. So Mr. Bertram, Mr. Walker, Mr. Honeycutt, I think were my main 3. So fun. Whenever I tell anyone at ACMA, I'm like, the math teachers make math fun. It's incredible.
You get the ups and the downs from all of the classes. You might not be good with math. I was okay with math sometimes. Sometimes it was hard. But the thing to really make sure is to just stay on top of it and know that the teachers are there to support you. Because if you ask questions, they will answer and they will support you. Don't get left behind, because then the train would just keep on moving. But if you stay on the train and you just focus and you have fun, that is what matters.
A lot of homework, no, but like a decent amount. This year I've decided to take 2 math classes, so I have quite a bit of math homework, but that's really the only class that you have anything in. And unless you're working on a monologue or you're doing a painting or creating a sculpture for ceramics.
No. Yeah, anymore. Yeah, no. Okay, we don't have core classes anymore. Yeah, normally teachers tend to do a lot of their like homework or anything we're working on in class.
Yeah.
And if we're taking anything home, it's probably like a reading, and it's probably due in like 2 classes.
Or something that you didn't finish.
Yeah. Unless you take like an 8. It's really not a big work.
It's a reasonable amount of
Yeah.
work to do.
Depends on if you want there to be a lot of homework. Most teachers are like, if you don't get this done during class, it's homework. And I'm like, oh, okay. And I'm usually just like doing whatever. So it's normal. I think so. Yeah.
Do I get a lot of homework? Less so in senior year, but when I was in junior and sophomore year, yes. But the cool thing is that with the community that you have, a lot of people are in the same classes as you, especially if they're core classes. So what we do a lot is we'd have hangout sessions where we do homework, or we have Discord servers, chats, or use Instagram to help people learn the material a little bit better. So you can ping off people in your community to help you with your homework.
Really just ask for it. All of the teachers are so nice and are always willing to be there for the students. That's something I really like about ACMA, is that the teachers are here to help the students. Anytime you need help, you can always say, hey, I really am struggling on this math problem. Can you help me? And they're like, oh yeah, come in during lunch. I have a prep period, come in during this time. And they're always awesome.
But students really come to ACMA for classes that speak to their souls. And this includes the many artistic electives that help define our school. Among these classes is a robust offering of performing arts classes with theater courses, including acting, theater design, and tech theater. Several levels of dance, from introductory to our pre-professional dance company, Dance West, and jazz, orchestra, and choral music at a variety of levels. In the visual arts, we have 2D and 3D art, a variety of art classes at ACMA, and something we're proud of. And we're also proud that we're able to offer classes from painting, printmaking, sculpture, book arts, and more. We have photography, and one of the only actual dark rooms around, design, and art history classes. And not to leave communication out of the mix, it's in the name of our school after all, we have a full slate of creative writing classes. We publish an anthology every year, and we have a strong film program and growing animation department. The arts are the focus, and they're placed at the core of all that we do. We hold our students to the same standards as all BSD students, but take a different approach to our work. including deliberate artistic themes embedded in all our content areas. It isn't easy academically, but we do our best to bring a creative approach to everything that we do. To help us understand what it's like to be an artist here at ACMA, we turn to our students for perspective.
Oh, my pathway is music performance. So I'm a trombonist. I've been playing trombone since 6th grade. I picked it up because my brother had played it, but instead of just doing it for a little bit and dropping it, I've done it for like 7 years now. So it's a lot of fun. Music here, yeah, it's interesting. It's good. Yeah.
I have a dual pathway in dance and theater. When I came here as a freshman, I started only in theater and I did not do dance. But then it wasn't until my sophomore year did I see just how valuable taking dance here is. All of the pathways, you get these industry professionals that know their craft, that know their work, and you get to go here to a high school for free and take these classes, and you don't need to take other classes outside because they're all here, and you get such a wholesome experience and education from the theater and dance and art, and it's been really great.
Well, we do a pathway in dance, so I did kind of like dabble in like theater and some art, which was honestly super fun. I love the fact that I could just kind of mix and match, but I did end up loving dance the most, so I kind of stuck with that a lot. And it's really fun. There's so many fun teachers that just hype you up every day, so I'm feeling like energized. And you get to create stuff too. So when you get into like our level of dance, you get to start composing or making like new pieces of like dance, and then you get to collab with other students. So I really love that aspect of it.
And then I came here strictly for dance, and it's given me so many opportunities. Like I went to a summer intensive in Chicago not yesterday, last summer, and it was really fun. I got to meet a lot of new people. So yeah. What do you think?
My pathway. My pathway is design, and I originally came here in 6th grade for art, and then I ended up taking a dance class and really liking that, so I stuck with that for about 5 years. And then, just like about sophomore year of high school, I kind of decided that dance just wasn't, I liked it, but it wasn't really what I wanted to do, and design really was what I was passionate for. And so, I got to transition over, and even halfway through high school, I've still made it from beginning to advanced level. So it's really, there's a lot of opportunities and a lot of different things I never thought I would find myself doing that I actually got a lot of good experience and values from.
Oh, yeah, okay, I'm so sorry. So I started with theater, and I was like really into it, and that's like what I got in for through second consideration, and so I was like, that's what I'm here to do. And then when COVID happened, couldn't really do theater, so I was like, I'm gonna write, and I'm gonna write plays and like things like that, because like that's what I can do right now. And then when I got back, I just somehow switched over to dance, so I've like switched my pathway 3 times, and now I'm pretty much fully in dance. So like, it's really easy to switch around, and you don't really have to come to ACMA knowing what you want to do, because you kind of find out what you want to do once you're here. Okay. Yeah.
I had a very similar experience. In like 6th grade and all through middle school, I did a lot of choir and animation, which is a really interesting mix, and a lot of theater just after school. So I never really took theater classes, but the way that I got into like tech theater was just doing it after school and just joining and being like, hey. And then COVID happened, and I was like, okay, well I can still do animation from home. And then that I started kind of fading out of that like phase in a way, and I got really into photography. Our program here is really great because we have a dark room, so it's like actual like manual, like you're like you're developing the film, you're like adjusting it however you want. So it's really cool. And we also do have a digital program that's pretty good. Yeah, and I still do theater on the side, like all the time. I've stage managed a couple plays, so yeah, it's a really good mix, and like dual pathway ships and stuff like that. It's really cool.
Also, you don't need a pathway to succeed at ACMA. You can do whatever the heck you want. Yeah. It's just an art school, so use the tools. Yeah.
So, I came here for band originally. I played tuba, but what I really wanted to go after was graphic design and sort of entertainment and story design. So when I came to ACMA, I was like, okay, I'll switch my pathway from band, even though I had a really nice time first year of band. went straight for the design pathway stuff. My favorite class from that pathway was probably urban design, which is a class that you can't really get anywhere else, taught by our wonderful photo teacher, Mr. Gottschall. What I really loved about that class is it sort of focused on architectural design, and the final project was a sort of doctored college project that really got you hands-on into architecture, and then you also had judges coming in from actual workplace scenarios. So it really felt like you were sort of in a design environment, as well as wonderful Mrs. Thackeray, who got me into learning Adobe products, which is something that's industry standard. I really feel like my art classes prepared me for the workforce and prepared me to have the tools that I need to start designing things. And then I get to put it into action through things like Newspaper Club and, you know, designing things for my friends. And I just really got to learn a lot from those classes.
Well, music has so many things to it. That's just like everything. It's math, it's science, it's when you have to think about music and all that thing and all that all the time, it kind of makes you a more pragmatic student a little bit. But that's my experience with music, at least. I don't know about graphic design kids or theater kids, but there's a lot of them here, and they're very good at what they do. So
My arts experience at ACMA has been pretty amazing and better than I thought it was going to be. I thought that when I got here, if I wanted to sing, I could only take choir classes, but I got here and realized that's not true at all. Last year, I took a ceramics class for the first time ever as a sophomore, and there was a lot of younger students in the class, but there was also students that were older than me who were just getting into ceramics as well, and it helped me kind of relax and find something new that I didn't know that I had like a skill for or that I would even like, but it's probably one of the most fun classes I've ever done here.
Now, up to this point, I've done my best not to read you slides in this presentation, but this one is worth sharing aloud. It's our mission statement, and it goes like this. Arts and Communication Magnet Academy's innovative educational community engages all students and staff in achieving academic and artistic excellence. We ignite the need to create and question by honoring both the unique characteristics and the interdependence of disciplines of study, while weaving a rich, collaborative tapestry of experience. If that sounds a little corny, that's okay. Sometimes we're a little corny. But the truth is, we believe it. And students and staff at ACMA are okay with a little purple prose, like weaving a rich, collaborative tapestry of experience. But we do that weaving together every day. And what does that weaving look like? Well, it's a little different than you'd see at a comprehensive school. We don't have a football team or any sports at ACMA, though students can and do play athletics at boundary schools. We have a fantastic homecoming, but it's not centered around athletics. We have advanced placement classes in lots of subjects, but as a small school, we just don't have the numbers to allow every AP class you might see at a school of 2,000 students. We're not a neighborhood school. We draw students from attendance areas of every part of the Beaverton area. We see this as a plus, a great opportunity for students to meet peers who share their love of art, even if they live on the other side of town. We're not a comprehensive school, but we do what we do well. And what you'll find at ACMA are students who are curious, creative, and kind. We have high expectations and open minds, and we strive to create and maintain a welcoming environment for every student. I know there's a lot of information. And I know it's still not everything. As you learn more about ACMA, I'd encourage you to find out all you can and engage in honest conversations as a family. Check out ACMA's website. Learn as much as you can, because the purpose of this info night, such as it is here on video, is to help you make the best decision for you. Beaverton is filled with amazing schools, and this presentation is not about getting you here. It's about you finding where you'll feel at home. So what's next? Applications, the lottery, and second consideration. We encourage you to apply. We bring in one half of our new students through lottery, and the other half through what's called second consideration. What this means is that you can submit your application now and any time before the window closes on December 13th at 3 p.m. The district will conduct the lottery and inform us and you of who gets in during this randomized first round. If you do, great. If you don't worry. Once we know the outcome of the lottery, we invite every student who applied but is not yet in to come to second consideration. It's at this time that students share a bit about their chosen art pathway, dance, film, art, music, meet with a teacher, and share their interest in attending ACMA. There's lots more information that we'll send out when we send out second consideration applications. Those are due by January 8th, and we conduct second consideration in mid to late January. I thank you all so much for listening to our info today. I wish you all the best as you find the school that's right for you.
Honestly, if you just love doing art and you just love it so much and you just want to create, this is the space for you. Because honestly, it's just, even just in like regular core classes, you still have the chance to create. So it's just a great environment for doing that, I would say.
It's also a really good environment for like trying just new things that you haven't done before, because you can just take so many different types of like art classes, and you're like, well, I've never done ceramics, so why don't I try this? Oh, printmaking, blah blah blah. Like, it's just a good way to figure out who you want to be as an artist, or if you want to be an artist at all, and figure out what your like special interests are, and you can have so many of them.
ACMA makes it all possible to do.
Yeah, definitely.
Which is really cool.
It makes it possible.
But yeah, I just feel like, oh god, I don't even know what I was gonna say. But yeah, I just had that one line.
That was a good one.
Yeah.
Are you writing that down?